For once it captured correctly. Let's go. So let me get this here. Crank up the volume quite a bit. I want to make sure you guys can hear it, okay? Anyone who's creating something and have any doubts about your creations, watch this video because you need to hear this. Okay. All right. I'm all for the positive motivation and the productiveness, Omega. I'm very much down if that's the case. So, all right. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's see if this guy has anything good to say. So let me just check my volume. Did you say you're trying to ride this train? Indeed I am, Hot. Indeed I am. Ride it. Raw dog it. Yep, the video is basically like Omega said. It's titled "Why Your Projects Failed and What You Can Do to Stop It." So, let's get started on this. I got tickets, Shade. Tickets. Oh my God. I realize what you mean. It just clicked in. Just clicked in. No ticket, no ride. Well, you know, I'm cheating and I'm crossing the turnstile. I'm not paying any money. Alright, let's get started, y'all.
Alright, before this video starts, I would like to say a few things. Yes, this video is a re-upload of a video I deleted at least 3 times 2 days ago. You do not need to keep telling me this in the comments. Don't have an excuse here. I was just really incompetent with the editing, and I was trying to do a million things at once, which resulted in me not hearing any mistakes, so that's all on me. Don't multitask, boys. It never gives good results. I also want to give a very large shout out to Lord Danny for giving me the advice I'm about to spread in this video. I've been
Oh, that's actually ironic. I actually know Lord Danny. We had a couple of interactions. He's a nice guy.
Working incredibly hard on my project for the past few months, and her advice has just made it a million times easier and is the motivation
I forgot
for
it was a
making
girl,
this
my
video. So, thanks for that, Danny. You
Sorry,
fucking
Danny.
goblin. Lastly, go read my story. Chapter 5 of Shadows has been out for a few days, and I'm particularly proud with what I managed to write. So if you haven't caught up yet, my story is available over on Webtoon for you to read, and if you have any thoughts or critiques you'd like to share, by all means, go read it and leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. With all of this said and done, I hope you enjoy the final time I upload this video. God, this video did not need to be so hard.
It's illegal, apparently.
Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Manga Rider,
Gotcha,
and
Omega.
today's video is not a review. This isn't an analysis, this isn't even a shitpost. This is a video where I want to give some blunt and solid advice on a thing that a lot of people are getting increasingly more comfortable with saying they don't have.
Okay.
Motivation.
Yeah.
This is an issue that in my opinion really needs to be talked about, especially to the newer generations of artists and creators. In the new era of mental health issues reaching brand new heights to a point where being completely normal is considered alien to some people, motivation is a thing that I feel like is dying out for a majority of artists online. This can be for many reasons such as personal life, our current cultural climate, or even just having an off day, but the point is that motivation, from my perspective, doesn't feel to be as
Good girl,
around
Ash.
anymore. The main factor for this lack of motivation, in my opinion, is the sea of people who have this idea that they have formed in their head that they want to share to the world, but don't want to do it in case of backlash or their special project not coming out like they wanted due to a lack of skill or experience. If you can relate to anything I've said so far, then this video will hopefully be the video that drives you to take that first step into
So what about the rest of y'all? How many of you can relate so far to the points he made? I mean, legitimately, even I have those moments, but like the difference between I think other people with motivation versus actually getting something done or not is how much, self-doubt you have. And I do agree with his points. There's a lot of mental health issues today that people do just allow themselves to be consumed by. I had this discussion once with my friend Scott, or Gentle the Wolf, for those who don't know, and he said to me a while back that when I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was shocked how quickly I had learned the anime art style because she thought that I was doing it for years. I've only been drawing anime art for like the last 2 years of my life, maybe about 3. I didn't like anime much when I was younger. I got into it more now. And the thing is, Scott had said to me that my motivation, my work ethic, and my determination is why I did it as quickly as I did. Because he says most people would not have achieved it in the time frame that I did learning it. Yes, Hot, you do count as an artist. Anyone who's creating any type of artistic creations, doesn't matter if it's writing, drawing, anything like that, that's all art. Art is just a form of expression. How you choose to express it is just varies from person to person. But the thing is like, I always thought because my health issues were so bad that I was working at a really slow pace. And compared to a lot of other people, he made me realize that I wasn't working as slow as I thought. And I actually was doing things proper, and I did have the motivation to get it done, because the mental blocks that most people allow them to keep themselves back, I didn't allow it to keep me back, and I pushed through it. So he basically was adamant that like not many people would have achieved what I achieved in that time frame, even though I gave myself that kind of a shit for my health issues. So like, yeah, I do absolutely agree with this guy in the video so far. It is the mental block, it is the health issues, and I'm not saying that we don't all have those struggles and that they don't matter, but the minute you allow it to stop you from doing any of the things that you want to do, well, that's when you've lost, and that's when the motivation is gone. But you can get that motivation back, because it's a matter of that passion you have too, and a little bit of that self-confidence. Everybody needs a little bit of self-confidence. Whether you're drawing, writing, or creating anything, period, this still applies. I agree. I stopped writing my current story. Well, I hope this video ends up helping you then, Hot. I hope that this discussion ends up helping you as well.
Creating your magnum opus. And the first piece of advice that I'd like to give, and it's a piece of advice I now live by, is this one simple sentence. Start your project now.
Yes, agreed.
Upon saying this simple sentence, I already know that a few reactions rose their heads in response to what I just said.
Yep.
One was the eye roll and thinking to yourself, not this shit again. Another would be to come up with an excuse as to why you don't, like a lack of time or your mental health, for a few common examples. Another one could be the sentence going in one ear and out the other because you've grown so numb to just accepting life as meaningless. Or another could be you putting down this video and getting started on your work.
Real quick, as a nihilist, I do accept that life is meaningless, but you can find personal meaning. And for me, it definitely is my work. That gives me personal meaning and the people in my life. So, yeah, just a little commentary on that part.
If you were the fourth reaction, then fantastic, you've got quite the fine spirit already. I'm proud of you specifically, and I wish you the best of luck in your future. Done. But to the people that had a negative reaction to what I said, hopefully this video will give you a bit of motivation, and if it doesn't, I hope it can at least give you another perspective into creating more fulfilling art. But there is also a possibility that you have already tried this advice and it got you nowhere. Hopefully this video will answer that question too. Just keep watching. The main reason I live by the phrase start your project now is because the idea is simple. There's no real reading in between the lines that you can do. It tells you what to do and when to do it. I live by this phrase because when done right, it not only made my work better, but it even made my life better in the long run.
Agreed.
So how can I prove this? Let me tell you about my first ever serious project.
There's another point I wanted to make is, like I said earlier, even though I'm not feeling mentally the best right now, and I'm even feeling kind of sick today too and stressed out, I'm still getting on here and I'm doing this and I'm doing my artwork and everything right now because I know ultimately it's going to make me feel better doing something and doing the work than just sitting around doing nothing and stewing in my head. I'm not going to tell you that my emotions and my mental state doesn't get to me. It definitely does, especially recently. But yeah, like honestly, you know, and as far as life having meaning, Hot, I think life has meaning depending on the individual. I don't think there is no actual objective meaning, because whatever someone says the meaning of life is, someone else is going to have a different opinion entirely and disagree completely, because it's not something you can actually prove. So that's why I say life is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, because come a certain point, nothing will matter and we'll all be dead and we'll all be gone. But that doesn't mean you can't appreciate life now. You can't appreciate the people around you, and that those people and those things and those accomplishments that you make don't matter or have value or meaning to you now. And that's perfectly fine. Like, this is more of a philosophical, existential point that I'm making, obviously. But like, that's how I view it personally at the end of the day. You know, I mean, not everyone's going to agree with me, but bottom line, you still can't really prove that life has a definitive meaning, because for it to have a definitive meaning means that everybody has to agree and it has to be proven as a fact. And at the end of the day, whatever life means to you is going to mean something else to someone else. So, yeah, the meaning comes from within. It's personal.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Enerjac's Curse.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey,
None
Tumbles,
of you
welcome
have
to the stream.
absolutely any idea on what I'm talking about, and good, because it's not a thing. At least, not anymore. Enerjac's Curse was meant to be my first ever serious storytelling project. I wrote so much lore about the worlds, I designed so much of the enemies and the characters, I put so much effort into my writing.
Why do we all start out as Sonic? Why is this the case for all of us? And it's going alright, doing a little reaction video so far, some discussion, and then we'll be getting to some questions after that. And, Witch Luna, thank you for the follow. And I see, as usual, my alerts are still not working, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I really wish my damn alerts were working, and I can't get them to work, so fuck me running with a spoon. Sonic is the start of everything. Yeah, I know, I hate that. Like, I was never a Sonic fan. Even I hate that I became that. It took me years to get away from it. I was looking for references, saw one holding a controller, and saw a line of text that you were a VTuber now. Yeah, I've been a VTuber for a few months. Well, wait a minute. Wait. Which Luna? Were you the one who commented on my upset post the other day on Twitter? Are you the same person? You know, I'm not. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm just yeah, trying to. Because usually I'm pretty good at remembering names, but like no, I just found your art today. Oh, well, awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I'm glad you liked my work then, and thank you for welcome to the nest. You are now a hatchling. So welcome to the stream. We're doing motivational discussion. I'm not famous yet, Jay. I'm working on that. I want to be bigger. I want to be well known. But I appreciate all the support and thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoyed the video and the stream reaction so far. Alright, let's get back into it, guys.
The way I told certain scenes and making dialogue flow as well as I could. I was so proud of what I made.
Yeah, of course,
I told
Witch, by all
a bunch of my
means.
friends about it.
I have no
going as
problem
far
with
as
people
to
using my
announce
art
it in
for
a random
references.
video
Feel free.
back on my now dead channel when I didn't even have a chapter done.
I want to promote my own Sonic comic called Sonic the Hedgehog Enerjac's Curse, where Sonic and a character named Monkey Kong team up on a quest to gather the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh my god, I'm cringing at this part. Oh god. It's okay. We were all there. It's fine. Don't be too judgmental, Shade. We were all there.
Defeat the mysterious Enerjack.
I hyped this project up so much, and the responses were great.
Indeed, Jay.
But after doing 22 or so pages, the project died. This was back in around 2017, early 2018, I believe.
Makes sense.
Then came along Shadows, a story that some of my subscribers will be familiar with, but to those that don't, it's basically my original story that you can read, link in the description.
Okay.
Shadows was a story I worked so much on. I took what I learned from my cancelled Sonic project and applied it to my original work. I came up with new monsters, new characters, new ideas, new storylines, new
Okay, this is actually another good point that I want to add here. So, like, he's talking about just starting your projects, right? Just getting them going. Now, look, sure, he quit the Sonic one, and he did just start it. But now look what happened, right? It made him move on to something more original, something a little bit better, his own actual content, his own IP. As a result of it, he has all that experience now because he did just start the other project. So it does just lend further credence that if you do want to do something and accomplish it, you should just fucking do it. It doesn't matter what it is. If there's something you want or something you want to do, go for it and do it, because all you're doing is wasting time. Like, you're not going to achieve anything unless you don't actually do it.
plot twists, new universes. It was all going great. I had the time of my
Omega.
life telling people what I was writing and hearing their enthralled reactions to what I was saying, getting and accepting feedback along the way. I would sometimes go on like this
Very
for
Dragon
hours.
Ball inspired.
The
I'm
interest
getting,
my friends had
Dragon
in my
Quest
project
vibes.
was amazing. Then I started chapter 1.
Okay, well, honestly, like, if you... Oh, Jesus. If you don't want to, Hot, that's a different story, right? Like, I want to make this clear. Whatever you want in life... Ow, you bitch! Welcome to the stream, Rai. I want to just say, like, whatever you want... Aw. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Like, whatever you want in life, make sure it's what you want, right? Don't get me wrong. If you don't want to pursue a passion project, like, let's say your passion for something dies, you know, no matter what it is. If it dies, I mean, you have every right to not pursue it. You should, I believe in, okay, I'm going to get a little philosophical again on y'all, because that's kind of the point of these things. Hang on one second. There we go. So basically, how many of you are familiar with the term hedonism? I don't know if you are, but hedonism is a philosophical viewpoint that basically says you should do anything and everything you can to maximize your happiness. I personally believe in ethical hedonism. I mean, I kind of am to a degree, but I've had to back up on the therapist thing lately. Massive burnout. I thought you said heathens. No. Hedonism. I'll pronounce it a little more clearly. Hedonism or hedonistic. H-E-D. But thank you, Omega. The thing about hedonism is I believe in ethical hedonism. I think you should do anything and everything you can in life in order to make yourself happy and achieve the goals you want to achieve, as long as it does not harm others around you. That's what I think that people should do. So if you're in a position, right, where, yeah, you're working on one of these projects, and somewhere along the way you decide that you just don't want to do it, okay, that's fine. You know, move on to something else then. Maybe you're not even that into art. Maybe you're not into that type of expression. But, like, the important thing is to also recognize that, are you giving it up because you don't want to do it? You know, is that the reason why? Or are you giving it up because maybe you're just depressed? Maybe you feel defeated, and maybe you just feel hopeless and negative, like nothing's going to get any better, much like what he's saying at the beginning of the video. So it's like, you have to really determine if the reason why you're quitting something is because you genuinely don't want it, or because, you know, you're afraid of failure, or you're afraid that, you know, you can't achieve it, or you just think that other people are better than you, self-esteem issues, etc. It's a reason why, like for example, like, you have to you know how like for instance, like if someone wants to engage in euthanasia, if they want like ethical suicide, you have to go to a hospital in order to actually get cleared for that, and you must be of sound mind. The same thing applies for all this other shit. If you're not of clear, healthy, sound mind when making these decisions, then you shouldn't, you shouldn't quit just because you're not in a clear mindset. I never quit, I finished what I started. That's good. But I will say, Jay, there's a couple of things that you could benefit from this video too, because you're certainly straggling on a few things yourself. Motivation might be good for you here too. But, yeah. Sorry, Jay. It's the truth. This video is all about the mental health state and your fear and anxiety keeping you and holding you back from doing what you want to do. This is the perfect video for you, Jay. Hopefully it's helpful for everyone else as well. I mean, I think there's quite a few people in the chat who are getting those vibes. But like, Jay, I know you well enough to know there's a lot of fear holding you back from doing things. Let it go. Everyone let it go. Hopefully this video does that for the rest of y'all. Also, give me a second. I'm sweating balls, so I'm going to take my shirt off. Hang on. Okay, all right. That's better. God, it's so much nicer having a model. All right, let's get... Don't worry, chat. He's cooking chicken legs. I am the chicken leg. And don't worry, I'm a chicken leg, Jay, but you're just a chicken. That's the difference. My mental state is fine. I just need more ideas. Well, that's good. I mean, if that's the case, then look for other places and areas you can get inspiration. Sorry, Jay. Absolutely true. You're afraid of everything. Stop it. If you feel called out by this video, then that should tell you have a lot of work to do. Agreed. All right, let's get back into it.
It took me 6 months to finish. And what was even worse was that I wasn't even happy with what I made. I knew I could have done better. So what happened?
Was it my writing? Was
You are
it
a
my
chicken.
drawing?
I have
If it
chicken
wasn't
legs, but
those
you're
things,
afraid.
then what was it? What made me take so long to do a chapter that, in my opinion, came out subpar? So I tried again in the year 2020, and this time it took me 4 months to do it.
Good time for
It
everyone
still
to work
took
on
4
shit, honestly,
months, but
2020.
hey, it was 2 months faster than last time.
About 12
What
minutes.
was going on? Why was it slowly becoming easier? Upon some self-reflection, I hit my answer. It took me 2 failed projects to realize what I was doing wrong. I sure did the projects, I sure got my hands dirty and learned so much from just doing it.
God damn
But
it,
the
Ash.
fatal thing I did that made it so that the future of those projects was impossible was because I told people about it. I didn't keep anything to myself, and when I talked about my stories, I had nothing to show. It was all
This is another good point. All right, I want to bring this up. There is a study that shows introverts are more likely to achieve their goals and get the things that they want done in life because extroverts spend a lot of time talking about the stuff that they want to do and never actually do it. Yeah, exactly. I know you've told this before, Omega. Exactly. That's partially what I'm referencing because you and me have talked about this too, is that if you spend all your time talking about your project, advertising your project, and not actually getting anything done and not actually show anything for it, then people aren't going to be interested to that degree come a certain point. You need to get something done. And sometimes to get things done, that requires you, focusing on that project and not spending all your time discussing it or going into it. Because when you're talking about it a lot, it's just an idea. When you're doing it, then it's real. So if you focus more time on actually doing the project, you're more likely to actually get it done than you are if you spend all your time talking about it and discussing it. Think about the amount of people, right, who fucking talk about their characters and calls all the time, who do fucking nothing but RP online, everything, and they talk about all these stories and things that they want to do with it and never actually do anything with it. Just get your stuff done. Like if you really want it and you really want something, I believe at the end of the day, you will go for it and you will get it done. If you're not really that interested and you're more using it as a tool to like socialize and communicate, then maybe more your problem at the end of the day is that you just want people around and maybe you care a little bit less about getting, actual work done. And again, if that's your case, that's fine. But know the difference. What's the matter, Jay? Wait, hang on. I'm going to convention and there's gonna measure my bust. God damn it! What are you my parents? I mean, if you consider me a therapist, then at the end of the day, motivational comments goes in hand with that. Sometimes that can be your parents, sometimes it's not. Yeah, Jay. I hope that emote is to what I'm saying, and that I hope this is making a good point. But yeah, what's your question, Hot? Go ahead. I'll answer you real quick before I continue on with the last few minutes of this. This is a good video so far, Omega. I like it. This is good discussion. I've called you and Jay my support system. Well, ironically enough, Ash, in the short time I've known you, you've been pretty good yourself. So, thank you. Come on, Hot. What's that question? Come on. Okay. Is taking ideas from shows and movies bad? Of course not. Of course not. At the end of it, like let's be real, right? Think about how many things you watch and like that you can compare to something else that exists or something else you like. Taking inspiration and motivation from something you enjoy is exactly what you're supposed to do. I'll be real with you. The series that my character Shade is from, I can sum it up as the Bourne series, like the Bourne Identity and shit, plus Terminator, plus like furries and anthros. That's basically it for the basic first season and shit, and then it gets a little bit further. There's a lot of different shows have inspired me. Animes have inspired me. Books have inspired me. Artists are inspired by other people. It's why they always say that there's this joke, right? Good artists copy, but great artists steal. So, they're like legitimately, we all take ideas. We all take concepts. And anyone who says they don't is lying. That nothing is 100% original. What makes something more original is how you tell the story, not necessarily what the story is comprised of. Thank you. I hope to find more videos. Amen, Omega. Yeah, that goes for any of you too, right? If you have a video you want me to watch, you can suggest it to me, you can throw it at me, or you can use the channel point redeem to make me watch a video on stream. Like, you have that power, you have that control. I've put a lot of shit in the control of my viewers, so feel free on that. I'm gonna be embarrassed if they say the size of my chest, and I will greatly show you guys around. Sorry. I mean, legitimately, considering that you're small and a short stack, if I had to guess, you gotta be at least a double D. We don't steal, we use references. No, that's the point though. Legitimately, Jay, like when I say steal, think of it like this, right? If there is a drawing that you want to do, and you use the other person's drawing for the pose, like I steal poses all the time from other artists and other things and draw that pose. Now, obviously, I'm not tracing it. It's not legitimate art theft. That's not what I'm saying. But it's considered stealing in the sense that, yeah, you didn't come up with that part yourself. You did do it on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's like, especially when we're talking about like reference poses, there are only so many fucking positions and poses the human body can even actually take. So, like, nobody can lay claim to that shit. It's like taking colors, you know? Nobody can lay claim to a set number of colors. Yeah, so like that's the basic premise behind it. Because the phrase good artists copy, great artists steal, I'm pretty sure it came from Picasso. I think it was, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to Google that real quick. Let me Google that real quick. Okay. Good artists copy, great artists steal quote. Yeah, it was Picasso. Yep, I knew it. Yeah, so like that's the basic point behind that. I have that power, don't tell other people. We don't steal, we advise. No, I mean, we do still steal. We definitely steal. There's taking inspiration and there's plagiarism. Exactly. Because like the inspiration is still definitely something that we are thieving, because that might have been someone else's inspiration. But you know what? That person probably stole it from someone else too. Of course you are. All right, let's get back to it.
All just, well, words. I hyped up the project so much that I made myself expectations that couldn't ever be reached. I wanted to get to the good parts so much that I was failing to get invested in what I was creating now, and I was failing to give the characters the necessary development they needed for those good parts to be even good. This resulted in my first draft of Shadows being boring and uninspired because I didn't shut up about my project. I was not giving it my all in Chapter 1 because Chapter 1 was not what I was excited to draw. And so to prove that what I was doing was destroying my motivation to actually fix my story, I did a little experiment. When I was doing the third chapter, I made myself one promise. Don't tell anybody about what happens in this chapter until it's finished.
Yep.
I then spent the next while creating the chapter, and I ended up finishing it. What happened during and after I published it was complete proof on what I was doing wrong in the last 2 chapters.
Another quick point I'll add, like I said, I have 3 projects. My big project is Retrograde, which stars Shade. The second project is Pay Your Respects, which was a medium-sized project, but I began to realize that those projects were going to be too big and were going to take too long to actually get done. So now I'm working on the small light novel project that I want to do, which is, My Stepbrother Is Now My Girlfriend, light novel. And that's the cover that I'm working on, because I realized I only need to draw 3 characters to actually start writing the book. So if you pick the smaller, more attainable goals and you push through, then you can actually get it done quicker. And you'll also spend less time talking about it then, because you're working on a more attainable goal in the meantime. That's another factor. They do it in game design as well.
When I didn't tell anybody about what I was creating, my excitement to show them grew more and more as I kept drawing. And because of that, my writing got better.
Writing fiction is hard. I mean, I'm writing fiction too. At the end of the day, if something is difficult for you, that's a personal thing. And that means you have to work on it. Anything worthwhile doing in life is hard. Anything worthwhile doing in life requires work and sacrifice. Okay, but again, just because I'm doing everything doesn't mean it's easy. Nobody should assume that anything that I've gone through or that I'm doing or that I'm making is easy. everything that I've wanted and had to achieve in life as far as I've gotten, and I still have so much more work to do to get where I really want to be in life, has been hard. Nothing's ever been easy for me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's been my health. It doesn't matter if it's been stuff with family. It doesn't matter if it's been stuff with friends, my love life, my work, my passions, my music, my storytelling, my artwork, my writing. Like none of that is easy. Like, nobody should assume that any of that is easy. And even if someone else makes it look easy, it only looks easy because you're basically just like watching the other person do it. But there's a difference between partaking and watching the other person doing it and actually doing it. It's hard for everyone. But again, if you really want to do it, hard work. That's what matters.
My experimentation was getting better, and what was even more exciting was that my drawing was getting faster. I was so hyped to show people what I was working on that Chapter 3 took me only 9 days to complete. A fraction of what I was doing last time.
You said that to me before.
And it was all because I didn't tell anybody about what I was doing, and I was getting more and more excited.
Since so does 21, cause hey Shade, would you wanna lore dump
this
with me
mindset
someday?
has resulted in me
I have so
accomplishing
many ideas to spill and so many questions on all of your series. If you want, we can set up a day.
I guess I wouldn't be opposed to that. It would depend on the series. No, you're fine, Hot. But it would depend on which series you mean. I'm assuming you mean Retrograde, but like, I honestly have to do more of that anyway. That's why I'm working on more of my original content on stream, because that was the that was the goal that was met for the 20 subs. So like, that's something that will be coming more anyway. But like, yeah, if people have questions and everything like that when it comes to some of the characters that I'm making, that's definitely going to be on the table. I actually have a few more pieces still to finish. Like, I drew my character Zeta a while back, which is the villain in Retrograde, and I still have to finish some things with that character. Retro, Pier, and your new one. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Hell, that would be fine by me if you actually wanted to do like a specific day or something. Yeah, sure. I'm happy to do that. Maybe I can make a stream out of it or something. People want to pick my brain on characters and writing. I'd be cool with that.
My goal of completing chapters every month so far, and it's been a great motivator to get the chapters done, because no one, besides me, has any idea on what I'm going to produce in the future. Ever since I experimented with this mindset, I haven't been talking about my story anywhere near as much as I used to. I do sometimes post drawings and little snippets just to show people that I'm doing it, but I've now stopped myself from going any further than that, and it has done nothing but give great results. This little story I told you was to show the effects of a mistake many artists make when they start a project, telling people and having nothing to show for it. The reason why telling people about your work is so detrimental to making and finishing that work is because when you hear the positive feedback from your friends or your followers, you get this little rush of pleasure. This may not sound like much, but that little rush you got is all that your mind needs to start backfiring against you.
True.
That positive rush you got from your peers makes it feel like you've already done the work, and when you get to actually doing it, your expectations will be way too high for yourself, and your motivation will burn out 1,000,000 times faster.
It's the reason why we get that little dopamine kick on social media when we post stuff up, and sometimes we need that to get us keep getting motivated, but like he's saying, sometimes getting too much of that is ultimately what's going to end up slowing you down. It's a matter of the right place and the right scenarios, to actually get that level of praise.
That positive rush you felt when you told people about your project is the reaction you should be getting when you publish your work. And believe me when I tell you that that reaction, when you actually have work to show for it, is an addicting feeling. And I mean that in the best possible way. I issue a challenge to some artists out there. I'm going to call this method the Shut Up and Do It Challenge. The challenge is basically try and do something within the time frame of a month. Do not talk about it to anybody, just get your head down and do it. Give this method a try, and when you do, post a comment telling me how it went.
This is literally why, even though I make jokes about it, and everyone makes jokes about it, But when Shia LaBeouf actually made that meme video years ago, yesterday you said tomorrow, and so just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Like, legitimately speaking, like, if you don't just do something that you want to do, you may never do it. Just commit to it. Commit to whatever it is you want to get done, and, you know, achieve it. You know, get working. You know, kind of like put up or shut up, essentially. So, yeah. Ramen making real food. God damn it. Welcome back. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad we convinced you. I hope this is helping a lot of people.
It's worked for me, and I'm fairly confident in thinking that you will be making content far more easily than you were before. So get started on that project now. Learn and grow from your mistakes as you do it, and while you're creating that masterpiece, shut up.
Yeah.
But before any of you hit me with this counter, yes, I know that everybody is different. I know that some people have it harder than others. I know that personal issues play a massive factor in this method being successful or not. One man's success is another man's crippling failure. I'm perfectly aware of that.
Yep.
I understand that my method isn't perfect for everybody. My only source of this being successful is myself, after all. But let me say this. You have only one life to live.
Yep.
You got all the time in the world to experiment in different methods, see what works and what doesn't. So why not give this one a try? If it fails, at least you can say that you tried. It's better to try and fail than to never try at all. My name is Manga Rider, and for just 1 month.
Yeah, I agree with all that too. At the end of the day, like there's a reason why there's a saying I say a lot, right? We often regret the things we didn't do more than the things that we did. Because you'll just spend your whole life wondering, well, what would have happened? What if I did this thing? What if I went with this person? What if I said this that one time? You know, what if I just fucking did whatever it is I wanted to do? Even if you fail, even if you don't get what you want, just do it. You'll be happier that you had the experience. You know, like another stupid phrase that goes hand in hand with this. It's kind of like that phrase, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Like, art is passion. That's how that goes. I mean, I'm a pretty passionate man. So just, you know, literally go for the thing you want to do. Get it done. Go towards it. And yeah, if it doesn't succeed, that's okay. At least you can say you actually went for it. You can say that you did it. You can say that you put in the effort, you put in the time, you tried. And if it's not something that's for you, at least you know you tried. Well, it doesn't matter what you are, you know, I mean, like, you know, what, like I said, whatever your goal is, you know, whatever it is you want to attain. I mean, I like to draw and I like to write, but the whole reason I draw is because I like to write, because I don't trust other people to do the work for me. That's the issue. Like, I have a very hard time letting other people do things for me. Like, the only reason I even commissioned my VTuber model and didn't do it myself is because it would have taken me way too much time and I had other work and obligations to meet. But otherwise, like, you know, I would have done this too if I had more of the time. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to Manga Rider and support his story, Shadows on Webtoon. He's a great creator, and the reason why I began doing my shit sooner than... Hey, I'm glad, Omega. I'm really happy. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool what he's doing, honestly. I very much approve. Alright, so, honestly, thoughts in chat. Anyone have any opinions or comments or things to add? Anything that they feel or express? Don't be shy. Say what you're thinking of after, you know, seeing this shit. I'm very eager to know what anyone else might have to be.